What's going on, folks? Welcome to another episode of our NFL
Not
preseason.
every episode. Well, is it an episode?
Yes, this
Oh,
is it.
these are just.
Yes.
Oh, my bad.
Uh,
Okay.
Today we are talking AFC South. So with me
Oh,
today, I
man.
got I got Ace with me today. So what's going on, Ace?
Yeah. Division in a nutshell.
Why do you have what? What is wrong with? I can't with this boy. Man, let's go and get into it. First, look, you done got me all out of. I got to get
Got him. Got him. All right, but anyway, yeah, I'm just meeting with you. This division pretty trash. Two man race. I expect some improvement from one team, but I expect it to be a two-man race. What do you think?
it. Honestly, I don't even know what to make of this division. All I know is
One-man
it
race.
ain't gonna be. It's two teams that I know it for sure it won't be this year.
Exactly.
But we gonna go ahead and dive into this. We're gonna start first with the Houston Texans. Last year they went 4-13. 4-13. I don't know how you can be worse than that, but someone was worse than that.
The Bucks
They
going 1-15. The Lions going 0-16.
yes. Um, but yeah, last year or not last year. Yeah, last year they went 4-13. They added Derek Stingley Jr. in the draft. They added Fabian Moreau, which I know honestly is not a big addition, but we have to find what we can find. I know this division's so piss poor. Key losses include Terrence Mitchell. Uh,
Justin Reed.
yes, also Justin Reed too. Um, the key games this season are pretty interesting. I think they're lined up for a bloodbath. Uh, they get the Chargers at home. They get the Raiders on the road. They get the Eagles. They have to go to the Cowboys in the Battle of Texas, which honestly I feel like I don't know why, but I feel like they could win that game and steal that from Dallas,
Uh,
which surprised
I,
me.
I, you said it, and I thought it.
Exactly. Like honestly, of all these games that I've named so far, that is the one game that I feel like they could just steal and win. And then they
I feel
also
like
get
Dave Smith will just show out that game and win it. There'll be memes coming out from me, but yeah, I think you're right. They would win that game. The next game that you're about to name, yeah, they have no shot though.
yeah the Chiefs at home. Yeah, no, they're not winning that. They're not winning that. I'm sorry. So I guess the
They gave
first,
Brandon Cooks a big extension. The 2 years, but it's a lot of money.
it's insane how his career just went from like here to
He got paid. He's got a
yeah.
crap ton of money in his career.
Yeah, well, I give him that. He did get paid. He got paid, but I mean,
And he gets his 1,000 yard receiving seasons every year or not like every year when he's healthy, he's getting 1,000 yards, but
he went
it's
from
not like
playing
it's a
for the
difference making 1,000 yards.
he went
If
from
you know what
playing
I mean.
for the title to like basically being like a bottom feeder, but getting like a crap load of money.
He went from making the Super Bowl with the Patriots, then going with the championship or Super Bowl with the Rams, and then getting dumped off
Yeah,
to the Texans.
yeah, because he was like a short little speed demon with them, but now he's like it's like a mid card guy that's just like a hired gun as far as free agency goes, and he's just stuck with the Texans because they paid the most. But I understand. Get
Hmm.
some money, young soldier. Get your money. I respect it.
Mercenary.
Uh, First one. What does Lovie Smith bring to this team?
Uh, I'm gonna just say the calming presence. He wasn't horrible in Tampa. I mean, he got scapegoated, but I mean, yeah, I think he's there to be a presence, and they got a lot of turmoil going on in that franchise. They're getting sued. I think yeah, they're getting part of the lawsuit with Watson. So
Right.
they needed a calming presence for that team in the locker room. So I think that's what he's gonna bring there mostly. Especially with a lot of young guys, you're gonna need it, especially with the distractions and all that stuff. So I'd expect he might only be there for like a year or two. Is what I have a bad feeling is what it's gonna be until McCown or whoever the offensive genius is that they want to hire comes in.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with you. I feel like this is a situation where a lot of people are like, yeah, let's go. lot of folks are like, yeah, we got an African American coach, but you need to realize the situation he's walking into is not one that favors him. And that's why I'm like you. I think in a year or two he'll be gone. Lovie Smith,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, to me, outside of his run in Chicago, everything else has been very lackluster. I know you said he was the scapegoat in Tampa, but I mean, honestly, I I saw progress, but I didn't see a vision of sustained success in Tampa
Yeah.
for Lovey. I didn't see a plan to rebuild and take the Illini to like the heights that they sustained in 2007 in the Big Ten from Lovey. And I don't see a plan. I don't see a long term plan here for Lovey either. I think he's just a
He's
man.
just a filler.
Yeah, he's
He's
just
a
a
filler.
fill-in. Yeah, he's a fill-in for
Kind of like
what's
how
going on.
Cornell was last year.
Exactly. And that's what I think Lovey is, and that's what I think he brings to this team. I hate to say it like that, but that's the truth.
Mm-hmm. Ain't nothing wrong with you said there, bud. But I mean, I think Stingley's gonna have a good year for them. I don't think he'd be a big difference maker, but at least they have a key to the defense. Even though I think he'll pull a Ramsey and be out in 2 years.
Most definitely. I think he'll be out. Honestly, I think he'll just do his rookie deal and he'll get out. I don't think that. I don't, like I said again, I don't see a plan. I don't see a plan here.
Mm-hmm.
And then it all comes to full circle of how did we get here? I think honestly,
Trading DeAndre.
yeah, trading DeAndre Hopkins, letting JJ walk,
Actually,
and then
actually, I don't think it's from that. It's remember back I want to say the year before Hopkins got traded, that McNair, he had those comments about I forget what it was about. Remember he had like those comments he had made and they got put in the dumpster fire.
oh, I remember it was you can't let the inmates run the asylum.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah, it was
That's
not.
when it all started.
Yep,
That's when it went down.
because it hasn't been the same since. And honestly, really, hell, I think that this is another owner that I think needs to sell his team.
Yes, I.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. And yeah, I think that has to do with how we got here. But I think honestly, if you look at the timeline of the collapse, because dude, this team was like a under Deshaun Watson with JPP and Hopkins. I
They
thought,
were up 24-3 against the eventual Super Bowl champs.
and I still thought they were headed in the right direction.
Bob blew it. Bob the Destroyer, not Bob the Builder.
I felt like they were heading in a good direction. I felt like honestly, if they had still had more time to mature, I felt like this would have been a team that maybe in 5 years from that point. Because what year was that? Was that what 2019?
19.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like 5 years from that point right
It was
there.
2020. No, last year was 21.
It was 2019.
Last year was Hopkins' first year, right? Wasn't last year Hopkins' first
It
year?
was like Hopkins' second year, I believe.
Oh, Watt joined them last year and Hopkins was there
Yeah,
before you, so it was 2019.
yeah. I felt like honestly, 5 years from 2019, I felt like. So what would that be? What 2023? I felt like yeah, like next year would have been the year that they would have been able to really like launch off the platform and get
If
something done.
nothing went downhill.
Yeah, exactly. But lo and behold, everything goes downhill and everything collapses and all this stuff comes out. So yeah, that's how we got here. But I know you're a big Davis Mills fan, and I know you got your guy right there on the screen, right above
I'm
you.
not a big Davis Mills fan. I just don't hate on him.
So tell us why should we believe in him then?
I mean, if we're gonna believe in Tua, I might as well believe in him. They had the same exact stuff last year. And we saw what Davis Mills was working with last year.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
His numbers were the identical to Tua's. And about the same amount of games played, same yards, touchdowns, interceptions, rating were identical.
So let me ask
But
this now.
yeah,
Yeah, in 2023, should they draft Bryce Young and bring?
if they get first, I take Will Anderson first. If he does good, if Davis Mills does because Will Anderson is a better prospect, I want to say, than Bryce Young is.
Yeah, on paper you could say he's a better prospect. Yeah,
I mean, you get your JJ Watt tier player for your defense. I mean, you won defense this year with Stingley, but I mean, if Mills shows the flashes that you need to be a franchise signal caller, I'd say yes, you go Will Anderson. But if he like just absolutely craps the bed, then 100% yes, take Bryce Young
And that's
or
why I say,
Stroud, depending on both of their seasons.
and that's why I say,
But I wouldn't want to ruin both players in that franchise.
and see, that's why I say I could see this going the way of what Lovie Smith did with the Bucks. Because remember, Lovie Smith wet the bed his first season, and then he got the first pick, and then he went out and he drafted Jameis. I could see him doing the
And he
same
was gone the
thing.
next year.
Exactly. I could see him doing the same exact thing the Texans said, sending the Texans down this road that we don't know if they're going to go down, because I know the Texans front office is not like Jason Light and Bruce Arians and the Bucks front office, but I could see it happening.
Mm-hmm.
But enough of that rambling. That's going to now take us
Let's
to
go on to the
Tennessee.
Music City.
Honestly, this is a city I would love to go to one of these days.
Yeah, the guy who was supposed to be doing this video is from there, is living there, but I am the never-ending substitute.
Yes, you know what? See, that's how you know you're like the first guy on the depth chart. He's so consistent, folks. Look at him. He's so consistent.
I'm reliable.
Yeah, go ahead and post that picture of yourself where you give that that stank
The
look.
face.
Yeah, go ahead and post that one.
I gotta go get it. Give me a second. You
Yeah, go get
start
it.
talking about it and I'll go get it.
While he finds that, let me just say this. You know, last year the Titans, they went 12-5. They won the division. They added Austin Hooper at tight end. They added Traylon Burks, I believe. Oh, no. They lost Johnny Smith a while ago, but yeah, they added.
He went to New England last year.
Yeah, they added Traylon Burks out of Arkansas. That's their first round draft pick. Key losses here, both Julio and AJ Brown. Yeah, those are some big shoes to fill.
Well,
Honestly,
Julio didn't do much. They did add Robert Woods to replace one of them, and
true.
Traylon Burks.
So honestly,
Robert Woods coming off that ACL though, so I don't know what to expect from him.
I think they're hoping that Traylon Burks, Austin Hooper, and Robert Woods will be what Julio, Corey Davis, AJ Brown, and Johnny Smith were supposed to be. And I think that
Corey Davis was gone when Julio came.
Oh, sure. I mean, even still, I mean, he was a first round pick, but I think
He was a top 10 pick.
Yeah, like he was supposed to be the guy, and he did not live up to it. So, how you feel about this one right here?
Give me a second. Ah, crap. I lost everything. Can Traylon Burks be what AJ Brown and Corey Davis weren't? AJ Brown was very good. Corey Davis was not very good for most of his time in Tennessee, but if they use him right, put him as a chess piece on the board, like, be all over the place.
Yeah.
He can do what he can. If they put him in the Debo role, he's going to make it work. Although I don't think he'd want to stay for that second contract if he gets stuck in the Debo role.
Oh, I don't think he will either. But honestly, I think the good thing is I think he's going to have the benefit of two quarterbacks that I think will make his life a little bit easier, because they did draft Malik Willis. And remember, Ryan Tannehill was a little upset about that. He ain't like that.
Oh, he was very upset about that. And he had the whole commentary of how he doesn't want to. It's not his job to mentor. I'm pretty sure what it was.
Exactly.
Like he's being paid to be the number one quarterback on the team, not mentoring somebody or whatever. Albeit Malik Willis will be the quarterback next year. Maybe even week 10 if they don't start good. Just saying.
Honestly, look, because Malik Willis gave you a lot of. He opens up the offense a lot more than Ryan Tannehill. I love the face, both the faces. Oh my god.
No, this should be the thumbnail.
You know what? I'm gonna make it the thumbnail. I'm gonna mark it down 1440. Yeah, but
I mean, There was some rumblings about Mike Vrabel's job, not being able to get it over the hump, get it to the Super Bowl. There's been rumblings about that. I think the philosophy of turning around and giving the ball to Derrick Henry will not get you to the Super Bowl.
It won't. It won't. You have to have an added
And
pass.
Ryan Tannehill is not going to get you to the Super Bowl.
You're right.
Albeit Jimmy Garoppolo got to the Super Bowl. Jared Goff, they got to the Super Bowl.
Hey, every
I saw
time
a thing I want to say was PFF. One of them PFFs said the Vikings would be the third team in the NFC.
Look, every now and again, a blind squirrel finds a nut.
I would say a broken clock's right twice a day, but okay, yeah, that works too.
Exactly. Ryan Tannehill is another blind squirrel I don't see leading this team to a Super Bowl.
I'll say a Super Bowl win. I don't think he won't even make it to the Super Bowl. Who am I for?
Yeah, no, like I said, I don't see him leading them to a Super Bowl. The last time the Titans got to a Super Bowl, they should have won it, honestly. I know you weren't around for that, though. But, yeah.
I know what you're talking about. It's like 1 inch off. He leaned and he didn't make it.
Yeah, they got tackled by Mike Jones at the goal line. But, yeah, I don't see Ryan Tannehill doing the deed, especially with a guy like A.J. Brown gone. I think we kind of answered this question already. You replace him with Treylon Burks.
Treylon and Robert.
So I hope they live up to the hype. But yeah, so the key games for the Titans include, at the Bills, at the Chiefs, at the Packers, 3 tough road games, and then you get the Bengals.
I say they win one of them.
You think they win one of them?
They win one of the first 3. They're gonna somehow find a way to win one of the first 3, and actually, I'll say they win 2 out of the 5 there, guaranteed.
I think it'll be on
which 2 it will be, but guaranteed.
I think Packers.
Yeah, Henry will give him trouble. But they got White down there in the middle now, so who knows with Green Bay. Tennessee always gives Kansas City trouble, maybe. Buffalo, I don't think they're beating Buffalo now. Buffalo loaded up on defense.
The Chargers.
Cincinnati will beat them again. Chargers probably.
Yeah, because they always in this league you always tend to see teams win a game that they probably shouldn't win.
Which is why I say they went 2 at least in that 5.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're still probably my favorite to come out of the division, depending on what Ryan does. But we'll get into them later.
That takes us now to Duval, traveling up north.
Duval gonna have an improvement, but not make the playoffs again.
Traveling up to north.
You can't get any lower than you did the last 2 years. Let's be real. You can't. We thought Houston was bad. Duval cannot go lower than what they were the last year.
I agree. Like it's
with the amount of stuff that won't happen.
At this point, it's like, geez, like come on, like
just stay out of the news.
Yes. Like, I don't get it. Like, why is it just so hard to just get it right? You know what I mean?
Coaching.
Yeah, because you got coaches that love to feel up on young girls and stuff. Yeah. Look, am I wrong? And then he wanted to bring in Tim Tebow because he thought Tebow was some type of godsend that was going to mentally have these guys motivated and ready to play.
My response is my face.
It's the truth.
That's literally all I got to say on that. I know it's the truth. That's what I'm saying, bruh.
Like
not Doug Myers. Oh my God, Urban Meyer thing. I see Doug Peterson. I said Doug Myers. What the hell? Urban Meyer hiring. That whole thing was a disaster from day one, and it got worse and worse and worse. The kicking the kicker, Tebow, the whole Columbus situation. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All Doug Peterson's got to do, get the guys under control. You got some pieces there. You gave Trevor an offense. health going to be a factor. Your defense is going to be absolute crap again, probably. I don't know. But the offense is there this year to get Trevor the reps and the confidence he needs. And next year it's to fix the defense and go.
You ever I actually thought about this? It's kind of funny. You ever notice that the failed, the really, really terribly failed coaches that come from Florida to the NFL just flunk out the hardest? Steve Spurrier went to the Redskins. It definitely didn't work out.
But you see my face, right?
Urban Meyer. It's kind of funny. They both won national titles.
Mm-hmm. Even Nick Saban flunked out SEC teams, SEC coaches.
Oh, see, now hold on.
Well, Saban had some extraneous circumstances for his lack of success in the NFL.
Nick Saban could have had Drew Brees.
I also said extraneous circumstances kept him from having success in the NFL.
And then he still went 9-7, which is way better. It would have at least guaranteed another season for both Urban Meyer and Steve Spurrier.
What? Not exactly. Brian Flores went 9-8, and he didn't get his next season.
Well, we know why Brian Flores didn't get his.
Oh yeah, we know, but you get what I mean.
We know why. You can read the lines. You know why.
I know why. I'm just saying. No. But yeah, actually, I'm gonna say this. Out of all the teams in this division, I like Jacksonville's future being the brightest out of all of them because they got the most potential at quarterback. ETN will be there, and I have faith in ETN. And yeah, I mean, you trust Matt Ryan in the next 4 years? No, you probably won't even be there in 4 years. They don't have a guy behind him. They have Jonathan Taylor, and that's it. We'll talk about them last.
They got
Houston's got Davis Mills. He might not even be the quarterback next year. And Tennessee's got Malik Willis, he fell to the third round for a reason.
I like him to start, though.
I like him to start, but I'm saying the pieces Jacksonville's building up on that team, I give them the benefit of the doubt for right now.
It's gonna hurt right now, but in the long run, if they handle it right and it doesn't blow up on the platform, joy that can be had from this. But yeah, like you said, in year 2 of Trevor Lawrence, I'm expecting a lot. I'm expecting a bigger jump forward because now he'll have Travis Etienne back there to help him out, and there's a chemistry there that the two have from when they played at Clemson. So I'm expecting more.
I'd use Etienne and Robinson. Is his name? Yeah, I forgot his name. James Robinson. I'd use Robinson and Etienne the way how New Orleans used Ingram and Kamara in the 2018 run.
Yes.
I'm not a head coach, so what do I know?
No, honestly, I like it though. I like that idea.
Because Etienne can fit the Kamara role. Robinson can beat you down the middle.
Yep.
So, and didn't they get they paid Christian Kirk more money than somebody else. That they had a whole meme about the Christian Kirk getting $80 million. That thing was crazy. But we won't get into that. Didn't they pay somebody else too? They were paying every single wide receiver they could think of. There was a whole thing on that. It was Kirk and somebody else they paid, but that's not important.
Oh.
They're not. I think Kirk will be a solid number 1 if he got the opportunity, which he will. If he stays healthy, he has some injury issues, so if his legs hold up.
But yeah, so the key games for Jacksonville here.
I'm gonna say this. Best part about Jacksonville season next year is gonna be the swimming pool in the stadium.
Oh yeah, of course. But I still wouldn't get any because
that's just nasty with all those random people in there. But yeah, it's not gonna be pretty this year. Looking at the schedule.
Then again, who knows? If they suck, then there won't be anybody in the stadium. So I mean, I guess that pool will be wide.
Read the list.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, the Chargers, at the Eagles, at home against Russell Wilson and the Broncos, at the Chiefs, and at the Ravens. Yeah, they're not winning any of those games. They're not winning any of those. I'm sorry.
There we go.
I'm going to be honest. depending on when you go to Philly to play the Eagles, if you get them early in the season when it's hot in Philly and not cold, you might have a chance. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt there. But
Mm-hmm.
if you
None of
get
the other games are gonna win.
say
Mm-mm.
again,
I said none of those other games are gonna win.
oh yeah, no, they're not going to win any of those other
I
games.
mean, they did pull out a miracle last year and beat Buffalo. Dude, their defense wasn't terrible last year. Now I'm thinking back because they did keep Buffalo to like 6 points.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, so it's look. There's always a game that in the NFL that like you just wonder like how did
A
that?
fluke. Mm-hmm.
It's always at least
Just one
one.
team doesn't show up.
Exactly. And I think that's going to be one of those cases like potentially in Philadelphia or any one of these games, honestly, where it's going to be like, man, Jacksonville has got no chance. We're going to sit here and be like, man, Jack,
Denver
ain't no
and
way.
Jacksonville.
Exactly.
Denver, if it in Jacksonville, if it's hot enough.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I mean, look, it's hard for teams to come up out of those Rocky Mountains and come down to Florida and play games. So I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
look, the humidity can play a factor, but look, I just wouldn't count out Jacksonville to not win a game. They're going to at least shock somebody. It's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one last one.
Moving on, damn. Oh. What's it gonna take to get back to Saxonville?
You got to get nasty in the trenches, man. That's point blank.
I can't tell you anybody on that defensive line that had a side of Josh Allen.
Exactly. Honest. See, here's my thing. The guy that they should have gotten in the draft, they let slide to Philly. Jordan Davis. If they wanted to get nasty, they should have got a guy like Jordan Davis.
Oh, they took Trayvon Walker, bro. We ain't even talking about the #1 pick. I forgot about him
Oh
so.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, they did. But
Oh
see,
my god,
I mean, but still,
forgot about his body.
he's an edge rusher, but you got Josh Allen there too. That's another edge rusher. They're both edge rushers, but like you need a
One on
presence.
the other side, in the
You need a,
middle.
you need a nasty type of dog in the middle, and they had that with Calais Campbell, but they don't have that anymore. Who's nasty in the middle for them? Like think about it. Somebody will probably
Nobody I
comment
know
on
of.
this video and say who they
Bro,
have.
where I'm looking that up. I don't know. Jaguars defense.
Like, look,
Let me
no. Here's
try.
the thing.
I have no idea.
When this video drops, somebody will comment below and say who they have in the middle and probably say we're crazy, we don't know what we're talking about. But honestly,
Oh, we know what we talking about. I'm looking at these names. It's bad.
as I suspect,
Malcolm Brown. He's a run stuffer, but he's not a pass rusher.
and can
Devon
he give that
Hamilton
to
ain't
you?
that good.
Can Malcolm
Dewan
Brown
Smoot
give
and
that to you
Jay
every week?
Tufel.
Like, serious question. Can Malcolm Brown give that to you every week? Can
Javon Chason is not a starter, is he? I thought he got
Caleb on
benched.
Chase on it? No, okay, that's a respectable name. I like that. That's a good one.
It's a name, but he has not played much in Jacksonville. He
He
has not
must
been
be
good.
injured, right?
Oh, but this depth chart doesn't have the rookies on it. Because
Okay.
Trayvon Walker's not in it. The wide receiving court. Bro, this thing is old. But this is from the Jaguars website. They need to go update the damn depth chart.
That's pitiful.
That's embarrassing.
But
Let's
yeah,
see.
I mean, look, I think that they need to just get nasty. Like they got
They did
guys,
pay a Khan. I remember that. The guy who had the weekend tackle from the Falcons.
right?
They bring in a Oh, and they got Devin Lloyd. So they got the linebackers now.
They got the linebackers. I'm
I
talking
don't the
about,
middle. Yeah, I know what you're talking about in the middle. That middle is ugly.
we'll see. We'll
We'll
definitely.
see.
Um, and with that, folks, that's gonna slide us now to the Indianapolis Colts.
Last team standing on the
Yeah.
last leg of Matt Ryan.
Yes, Matt Ryan gets a second chance. Last year, the Colts finished second in this division. They went 9-8. Key additions are pretty
Couldn't
nice.
beat Jacksonville. Couldn't beat Jacksonville. Well, they need to.
Stop. Philip Lindsay, Matt
Chapter.
Ryan, Nick Foles, Stephon Gilmore. They lost Zach Pascal, Carson Wentz, and Jack Doyle. Jack Doyle actually retired.
Mm-hmm.
So, right away.
Alec Pierce is a key addition too. In the draft. Alec Pierce from
Mhm.
Cincinnati.
Right.
Solid. Very solid. think he might be a good fantasy guy out there
I
for
like the
y'all
corner.
out there. Y'all gonna be looking at Pittman, but if you're in PPR, I'd hit up Alec Pierce.
Mm.
That's some fantasy insight for y'all out there because Pittman, he was a headache to deal with last year because he was boom and bust big time. But Pierce, he's gonna be open and he's gonna get his receptions. So if it's not like 50-yard catches, so be it. He'll still get the catches for you. So I'd hit him up. Philip Lindsay's your insurance policy of the fantasy football season.
I wouldn't even
That is
draft.
one guy. He must be rostered. I'm doing a fantasy breakdown for the Colts because that's all there is. I wouldn't touch Matt Ryan.
Oh
Wouldn't
my,
touch Matt Ryan with a 10-foot pole because it's Matt Ryan.
oh my
I
god.
mean, Jonathan Taylor's going to be the bell cow of that team, but they need to not fall into the trap that the Titans did, where you turn around and hand the running back and they expect to win every game. We ain't winning a Super Bowl like that, and no team who's won the Super Bowl has done it like that, where they turn around and hand the running back it.
Well, Dallas.
No, I'm talking
And
about like this era of football now. You know what I mean?
okay, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. I agree with you. And then you look at the key games. They get the Chiefs at home. They got to go to the Patriots. Got to go to the Raiders. They get the Eagles at home. They get the Chargers at home.
I said they
Uh,
won 3 of those.
I know that's actually I like the lineup. It's actually very favorable for them. And then they don't play in a
Mm-hmm.
grueling division either. So I mean it's actually crazy to believe as much faith as we don't have in the Colts, they could actually end up like getting to the playoffs and winning the division.
Yeah, I give them the slight edge over the Titans because at least you got Pittman still. You got Henry was banged up a little bit last year, and
Hmm.
Taylor looked unstoppable. And they got a way better defense than the Titans have. You
Right.
got Darius Leonard, South Carolina State boy, going in the middle. Roman about to force a fumble on you. You got the second best slot corner in Kenny Moore. You got Stephon Gilmore. I think Xavier Howard's still there. Not Xavier Howard. What's the guy named Xavier Rhodes?
Yeah, they have
Uh,
Xavier Rhodes.
Florida State won. Yeah, Rhodes. You got is it Justin Blackman or no Julian Blackman? One of them Blackmans is the safety there,
Hmm.
and you have another safety. I'm forgetting his name. Rodney McLeod. No, Trey McLeod. The dude they
Oh,
got from the Eagles. They signed a guy from the Eagles, McLeod.
yeah,
Forgetting his
Rodney
name.
McLeod. Rodney.
Yeah, I like, and they got Cody Pay coming back
Hmm.
too. So they got the better defenses. Why I give them the edge over Titans. Uh, I want to see what Frank Wright does with Matt Ryan, but that is the question that shows up right when I say it, and I didn't even notice it.
It's all
Ah,
good.
that's
It can't
that's
be any
it.
worse than Ray and Carson Wentz was.
Mm-hmm.
You can't
That's
go
a
below.
fact.
It's got. I
Well,
mean, Matt Ryan's got more experience, so we'll see.
well, actually, I wonder who the last game of the season is for the Colts because it's Jacksonville and Jacksonville.
The last
Instead
game,
of not showing up at all, instead of the Colts not showing up at all, they'll be up 28-3 and they'll blow it.
the last game of the season for the Colts is Houston and Indianapolis.
So they won't blow it on the last game of the season then.
But here's the thing, though, too. If you're gonna find a way to sweep the Titans and win this division, you got to do it within 4 weeks of each other. Because in a row, here's how it goes: you got to go to Jacksonville on the 18th. After that, you got Kansas City at home, and then the Titans come in on the October 2nd, and then you have to go to Denver, and then Jacksonville comes in on the 16th, and then the Titans come calling on the 23rd.
So they go to Jacksonville week 2, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, they go to Jacksonville basically week 2, and then in week 4 they get the
They're gonna
Titans.
lose week 2.
They
They'll
get the
lose that
Titans,
game for sure.
and then they play the Chiefs before that.
Mm, they're definitely gonna lose in Jacksonville. They just can't win in Jacksonville for some reason, but it's not as bad as the Saints. Saints got to go. I think every team in the division first 4 weeks.
Yeah,
At least they got a little bit of mix up in there, and it's also the AFC South.
All I'm gonna say is that's a heck of a feat right there. If you're gonna try to lock up this division, you got to do it early because it's the
You
path.
can't have that slow start that they had. They had a really slow start last year. They can't have that again.
Exactly. Like, look, the path is right there. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Within the first 7 weeks, you could put a stranglehold on the AFC South just by winning all these division games.
Mm-hmm.
You play the Texans, the Jaguars twice, the the Titans twice. You have a chance to win 5 out of 6 division games in the first 7 weeks of the season. The AFC South could be wrapped up early if they take it by the horns.
Yeah, they can't start like how they did last year, where they started 1-4. I think it was 1, 2, 3. They started 0-3, and then they went 1-4. You can't do that this year.
Oh yeah, no, not at all, not at all. The football gods have gifted you this. This is a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but before we do move on to the next one, next
Blocking. It'll
question,
be missing blocking.
I agree. I agree. I thought he was younger. Honestly, I'm surprised that
No,
he
but
had.
they got that guy from Virginia. I think what's his name? Jelani Woods. I think is his name. He's gonna be solid for them too. I think they drafted the guy from Virginia, right? I'm pretty sure they drafted that guy from Virginia.
I was gonna say double check for me because it doesn't
I
ring a
am
bell.
double checking that because I'm not entirely sure. Alec Pierce, Jelani Woods, Bernard Raymond, Nick Cross, Eric Johnson. Yeah, they got Jelani Woods and Alec Pierce to help the offense, and they got Raymond to fix the left side of the line because remember Mitchell Schwartz left, Castanzaro retired last year,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't address it in free agency. So, and they got Nick Cross, who was solid in Maryland, so that's a good guy in the secondary also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, this is a playoff team. I think maybe if they win the division, they're going to be the playoff team.
Most definitely.
They're not. I don't think a second team's coming out of the AFC South.
Oh yeah, me
There's one
neither.
team from the South. Whoever wins the division is the guy. It
Me
ain't
neither.
gonna be the. There's no wild card coming from this division. It'll be the North, and it will be either the East and West. It will be one of those three divisions will kill the South.
Of course, most definitely. So with that being said, now, so give me a predicted order of finish for this division.
Colts, Titans, Jags, Texans. No
Hmm.
hesitation.
Okay. More generous than me.
Colts, I'm gonna say 10 to 11 games. I'm optimistic on them. Give them 10 to 11 games, win the division. Tennessee's gonna be 8 to 10, somewhere in between that number. I think is what Tennessee's gonna end up with. And I feel it's gonna be 8-9 just outside the playoffs, or 9-8 outside the playoffs.
Mhm.
Jacksonville, I'm gonna be optimistic with them. I'm giving them 6 wins, maybe. Hopefully it's 6 wins. I'm gonna give them 6 wins. I'm optimistic with them. Houston's gonna be anywhere between 4 and 6, 3 and 6 actually. Yeah, 3 and 6 wins.
I'm gonna give it to you like this. I'm gonna say I think the top two in the race is gonna be close. I think the Colts get maybe 11 wins. I think the Titans will be right there behind them with maybe 11 wins, but the tiebreaker goes to the Colts, or the Titans may get 10 wins. Honestly, I think they're going to have a little bit of a problem there with Ryan Tannehill and Malik Willis. I think at some point we're going to see Malik Willis, but he'll have his growing pains, but it's okay. He'll come out of it, I think, in the future. I
Mm-hmm.
think Colts, the Matt Ryan, Frank Wright experiment will be better than the Carson Wentz, Frank Wright reunion. And that's why I give the Colts the edge by a game, or like by at least based on the tiebreaker. After
Mm-hmm.
that, I like Jacksonville, like you said, with 6 wins. I think it's a step in the right direction. Not a whole lot of success, but a step in the right direction. And then behind them, I think Lovie Smith is going to struggle in his first year in Houston. I think they're going to probably repeat with 4 wins, maybe worse.
All right, so we're pretty on the same page, more or
Yeah,
less.
most definitely. Yeah, I can get with it.
But I mean, ladies, gents, people everywhere. I mean, this division, got a couple question marks, but it's pretty straightforward, I think, on the order of the teams. I don't think we'll have a fluke unless there's a bunch of injuries. I mean, Tennessee had like 90 something guys on injured reserve last year,
Probably.
but I don't think most of those guys weren't difference makers. The most key ones were Caleb Farley and Derrick Henry,
Right.
but I don't think it's going to make much of a difference from them. I like Indianapolis better with the defense solely because of that. No offense, Kevin Byard out there, but I'm gonna go Indianapolis. What do you gotta say to close this up?
Thank you for watching. If you have not already, follow us on all of our social media platforms down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed. We'll see you on the next episode.